Hello and welcome back to RC Icons. In this video, we're going to get going on the 22-4 build. Got this kit, I don't know, week and a half ago, and did the unboxing video, but never even took it off my bench because I'm really looking forward to building it. It's one of the few times I've actually had a kit come in and immediately get into building it. I don't usually build stuff right away. So I will bring the camera over and we will get started. As we start the build process in step one, we literally are just bolting the plastic side rails onto the alloy chassis. Very simple step, but there is a couple of screws that have to remain out for the time being that will get screwed in later steps. Gorgeous piece of kit, even in step one. Step two starts with getting the belt guides in onto the chassis, just some screws that hold it, as well as the servo mount. The servo mount is the upgraded alloy mount that came in the parts from Skycraft Hobbies. The third step here, we're getting the motor mount and the rest of the belt guides in place. We'll get it put together for the front part, and then it gets bolted to the chassis in step 5, I think. Looks great sitting in place. Nice alloy motor mount. Next step is going to be getting the slipper clutch together. Kind of a standard slipper clutch from today's standards, being from 2013. Went together nice and easy. Grease it, set it up the best you can according to the directions, and then the next part is the other side of the slipper, which is basically the one-way clicker. I did set this up to be without a one-way, as my XX4, which is the same geometry, has the one-way in it. The next step has us starting to assemble the jack shaft, because this is a 3-belt chassis. The jack shaft basically goes from the spur gear to the rear diff, and once the jack shaft is in place, we have all 3 belts at this point in the car. The next step coming up would be to get the belt cover on, or the spur gear cover on, and once that's done, we're going to get into bag B and we're going to start putting together diffs. So we're going to start in the front of the car, getting the ball diff assembled. It's a standard Losi ball diff. You grease it, you assemble it. It does have steel outdrives, which is nice because the earlier cars did not. Getting into B5 here, we're going to get the ball diff into the chassis, which tensions the rear belt. Everything feels super smooth, very nice. Feels great. And then we're going to put the rear belt cover in place, and we're going to get that bolted up. Once the diff is in place, we literally are going to be getting into bag C, which is going to be the front end of the car. So as we start getting into bag C here, we actually, I'm sorry, it is the front of the car. So we're going to get together the steering. I do have the Exotech steering bridge, so we did get that put in, and then we got the front diff assembled, because the front bulkhead cover holds the steering bell cranks in place. You have to get the diff in place first, and then the steering goes in as well. It's got the same little spacer in the front as the XX4, and then the front diff cover goes on, and it kind of holds the bell cranks in place. Everything is ball bearinged in this kit, so everything feels great. The next step is going to be getting the servo saver kind of in place, or the steering arm for the bell cranks, and then we're going to get into bag D, which is basically the front end of the car. So first step would be getting the bulkhead in place, lower bulkhead. Now we've got our hinge pin brackets and front arms. Same geometry again as the XX4. And our front bumper seals everything in place in the front end. Looks amazing, feels great, absolutely no slop. We're going to get into the front shock tower here. We've got an alloy shock tower brace. It's actually an upper arm brace as well with the graphite composite front shock tower. Now that that's all bolted up, we're going to start building the front MIP drive shafts. I did not use the 22-4 drive shafts that were in the kit because I had the MIP ones from Skycraft Hobbies. So we built the MIP drive shafts up. The kit ones do come pre-assembled, but we are just going to put those to the side. And then we've got alloy casters and uprights. Also, I think they're 10 degree. I've got a few different degree options that came from with the Skycraft parts, but all the front end is alloy. Get them put together, get them pinned into the front arms, and the next step would be to get upper arms built. Titanium turnbuckles throughout the car, so here are the upper arm mounts getting built, titanium turnbuckles. I believe the ones in the kit are titanium as well. They looked exactly the same, but I did use the option parts from Skycraft just because it said that they were titanium on the package. I couldn't find anywhere in the directions that said whether or not the kit ones were titanium, but again, they looked exactly the same. They weren't any different in appearance, color, or shine. And then the last part of the front end, trying to think here. I'm sorry, no, this is the rear end. So getting into bag E, we're going to start building up the rear end. And again, I've got a set of MIP CVDs. I did use the Skycraft supplied alloy rear uprights, but they didn't work. Apparently they were there for the 2.0 and they did not work with the MIP drive shafts for the 22.4. So in these pictures here or these videos, you see the alloy ones, but when I go to put them into the car, I realize that they're not going to work, and I end up going back to the actual graphite plastic ones instead. So in this step, we're starting to get our rear upper arm mounts in place, which are alloy, and our rear hinge pin brackets in place, which are also alloy. At this point, we have the rear arms of the car in place. We're getting the MIP ones. This is where you can see that with those alloy uprights, the MIP drive shafts are just not long enough. And then there's the stock ones with the graphite plastic, and you see that side is long. So those alloy ones are definitely for the 2.0 or the second version of the 22.4. So in this step, we're getting the rear shock tower put together and in place. Starting to really look like a car at this point. The wing mount is going on next. I do have the alloy wing mount from Exotech, but again, it's part for the 22-2.0. So the stock wing mount ended up going on, which is fine. It looked fine. And then we're going to get into bag F, which is building the big bore shocks. Big bore shocks went together just like any other big bore shock, really. They have bleeder caps, and then the O-rings and how it goes together is basically no different than like a Tamiya set of big bores. They went together fine. Tedious as any other shock, but everything went together fine, felt great. The kit did not come with shock oil, so I just used shock oil that I had. Didn't really set the car up for any particular track surface, just kind of used what I thought would be all right in the front and the rear, and got the car set up with a little bit of droop for when we're running on the track. And then the last steps here is we kind of get the chassis finished off, or getting the servo in place, getting the wheels on. I needed to find a set of tires, getting the steering arm in place for the servo. I'm not going to mount the motor yet because I haven't decided what I'm going to use. And same with battery placement. I'm not going to use saddle packs. We're just going to use a shorty pack on one side. I do have the Carbon Exotech battery strap, and it only comes with one. So in this picture, you can see I've got the plastic ones in place. But I think in the next frame, you're going to see that I got rid of the plastic ones and I put the carbon one on, and I actually have a shorty in there. The shorty works perfect on one side, just like my double X4. The only difference is you got to kind of trim a little piece of the plastic side guard off. But that's it. That's the car built. Just like that, it's done. The chassis, at least. Absolutely phenomenal build. This thing was so much fun to put together. Came out exceptional. So much like the double X4, but different in a lot of ways. Got the Exotech heat sink motor mount in, and I've got the carbon battery strap from Exotech in as well. This was originally designed essentially for saddle packs. Talking 2013, saddle packs were still in. I can get my low profile 2S shorty in here without any issue. I just have to trim a little bit of this plastic off the chassis guard on the side, which I will do. Won't take more than a second. Just have to pop it off and do it. I did order X-Run 17.5 turn brushless system for this. Same setup essentially that I have in a double X4, and just a cheapo 12 kilogram low profile servo, which I run all the time, and they suit me fine. Shoemaker full spike 2.2s all the way around. The big bore shocks just feel absolutely awesome. So this was the first Losi that was designed with actual big bores. Super cool. So this was also the first Losi, I believe, where they transferred over to full metric hardware. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure the double X4 was still standard hardware, and same with the triple X4, but this was all standard metric. Thanks to Paul Walker. I've got MIP drive shafts throughout, or CVDs throughout, and this is the first build I used my new MIP tools on, courtesy of Paul 7 months ago, 8 months ago. So the next video you guys will see on this will be me airbrushing the body and getting that done. It does come all cut out. I didn't notice that in the unboxing, but the body and wing are fully cut out and ready to go. So that saves a heap of time. And then any day now, my chassis protector from TBG should be coming in. So TBG does a chassis pan or under tray for this car, which I will fit when I run it, but I also bought another chassis. So right now I think they're $35 for an original 22.4 chassis. So I bought one just to have. It's in the box. In the event that I stop running the car someday and want to shelf it or sell it or whatever, I can put the new chassis on, provided the under tray doesn't do what it's supposed to do, but I believe that it will do what it's supposed to do. Other than that, I've got enough spare parts to last me eons, and I'm really looking forward to getting this thing wrapped up and out on the track. It's going to be super, super cool, and you can just tell when a car is going to run great. This is one of those cars. So this video is long enough. I'm going to wrap it up. If you're not already a subscriber, I'd ask you to consider subscribing to support the channel. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the 22.4 build. Other than that, until next time, we'll see you soon. Thanks.